Welcome, welcome.
Hi,
Hello.
everyone.
Hey, everybody.
Hello,
Here we
hello.
here we are, and look who we've got. I've had more people say, "Why don't you ask Willow to be on your show?" So Kate did, and
Yes,
here you are. And I'm so glad you're here. Yeah,
I'm
thank you.
glad to be here too. I have just learned, well, I just got courage enough to be on YouTube just recently, not too very long ago.
Oh,
And so it
okay.
was a real new adventure for me. So if I flub up, please forgive
Oh
me.
my gosh, there's no flubbing.
No, yeah,
But I totally understand those nervous butterflies. So,
Yeah, I know.
just, breathe into it, know that you're among friends and we're just
yeah,
having a conversation, like
yeah,
cozy on up to the table and grab a cup of coffee and just, enjoy yourself.
yeah, yeah.
I am so amazed at the spirits around you, if you don't mind me
No,
interjecting that. You
yeah,
just, today must be one of those phenomenal days. I never can see anything that's around me, but I can see what's around everybody else. And
oh,
you're just absolutely inundated with angelic presence. So it's going to be a good day, ladies.
we'll take it, right, Kate?
Absolutely. Confirmation is always really exciting. I
Yes.
try and tell people that they're not alone, that there's a party. There's an entourage, it's an
Mhm.
Right.
entourage of all this wonderful energy and loving spirit, guidance and motion and dancing and they
You know
kind of
what
look
I've
at
been
me.
seeing a lot lately, and I want to ask you both if you see any of this.
Okay.
I have been seeing large, tall, golden beings around certain specific people. And they look
Mm,
like the Oscars that you will see, the Oscar statue.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
They never speak a word and they don't interact with me. They just are there around certain people and they're coming up more and more and more. And so I'm very, very interested if anybody else sees those beside me because I get the feeling they're extraterrestrial and I'm not quite sure about that.
Right.
Because I
Yeah.
Right.
really have not really been like Dolores Cannon and interacted with any extraterrestrials to speak of.
Uh-huh.
I know of them, but I don't interact with them. But these were beautiful beings,
Yeah.
and they're selective about who they're with, and so I'm very curious about that. So if
Wow.
if anybody sees those, let me know, please.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
I don't know that I've actually seen that specific one, Willow, but I have seen guardian angels and angels in other people's teams that are not in a human-like form. That they're
Exactly.
right. That they are in a beauty. And they're beautiful. Oh my gosh! I have one friend whose angel is this um, flow of white, beautiful, sparkling.
Oh, I know.
It's like a cloud dancing, but it's got, the shimmer all the way through, but and you can see through it and it takes your breath away.
Yes,
How
I
beautiful
see
this is.
different beings around people like that. Like you'll see like the regular family members come. There and they usually show themselves. Like they
Hmm.
want to appear at that time.
Yeah.
But the angelic beings, they have a whole tableau of things and
Yes.
colors and it's like a person's aura when you're reading a person's aura. They're
Hmm.
very much like that auric colors and to me
Wow.
and I
Yeah.
don't know how they are to other people.
Right. Right. I had a reading last week from a gal in a practice session. She said she saw 10 angelic beings around me, like in a big circle.
Yeah, I do too.
You do too? Oh
Oh
my
yeah,
goodness. I
you have
wonder.
a committee. I call them the committees. All of us that that are psychically inclined have groups
Uh-huh.
around us, and they're not
Uh-huh.
always specifically angelic. You have some masters and stuff, and you do
Uh-huh.
too. You have one that is very distinctive to me because he reminds me very much of my own spiritual guide Joseph, but he's an intellect and a scholar, and he's contagious. And so you probably have interacted with him, not knowing it. But he's very distinctive because he has the tonsured hairdo like a monk would wear,
Okay.
And so
Oh.
I can, whenever I look at you, I see him first. He's out in front, but then the angels, I do see the angels around you, and they come and go in sequence, kind of like. So you have a committee. That's what I call. Some people don't. Some people have just one specific with me, or two, and a lot of family members. And especially if a lot of family members are trying to get through to somebody, they would kind of blot out the other background.
Oh.
You guys, that's what I was saying. You guys are illuminated just today.
Wow. We'll take it, right, Kate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take it. Yep, we'll take it.
Yeah. I've been in a deeper set of contemplation the last week because my brother is in hospice, and so
I've been praying for him.
Oh, thank you so much. He's he's not getting any better. He's declining, but he's not on his last leg, I don't think either.
Aley, he's going back and forth. I hope you know that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's visiting more on the other side than he is here. And when they start doing that, they're in the transition period already. And so I could tell when I looked at him, but that's the time when we should pray the most for people, because they're so frightened that sometimes our prayers support that fear of totally letting go and crossing over. They'll hold that.
That's wonderful. Well, I was told my mother's there. My mother's at the front of the line waiting because they had a contentious relationship at the end. And I think that the healing is trying to occur right now even. So
he is afraid a little, so you may reassure him that they're there for him, and he sees them, but he doesn't want anybody to think he's nuts.
That's my brother.
And he made that remark. I don't want him to think I'm nuts, but he sees.
They don't believe what I believe. That's why all of those people. But I did talk to him about it when I was there, and so I think he understands that he could, can talk to me.
He sees us.
Oh, he does?
That's what I say. He's drifting in and out, and he picks out lights. That's why people wonder, they say, well, how do you connect with people? Well, they connect with you. They pick you out, We can go and say, well, I'm looking for Janet over there, or Janet's mother. And then they come and pick you out from your light, your illumination. That's what I've been told.
Okay.
And so he knows about that.
That's
your
cool.
brother does.
Thank you. Yeah, that's wonderful.
If I can help in any way, you let me know, won't you?
I will. You know it. You know I will. Yep. And you've all helped me so much. So when was it that Sunday when we were on with Kate and Valerie, Lisa Ann Young came on, and so she had, her sister is the one that transitioned. Her name is Ashley. And so she's back. Yeah. She's back. I guess she's wondering if her sister is she's at her nephew's, and the baby daddy is there. Oh, okay. Must be all right. The one she told us about. All right. Oh, your sister's always with you, Lisa Ann. Yeah. All right.
Do you want me to go ahead?
Sure, Willow. Yeah.
I don't know what the protocol is here, so if I talk too much.
No. You're the guest, and you get to say anything you want.
Well, Lisa, why are you afraid that she's not with you? She's so in love with you and your spirit that you will never be without her. Never, never, ever. Love is eternal. It's an eternal thing that goes on forever. And, they have a way. There may be problems on earth, and they're considered earthly problems. When they cross over, they look at them like they're analyzing, how they could have lived better. And they're so sorry that they don't do the things that they think they should have done when they were here. And so she's very contrite, saying, I could have done so much more. I wish I could have contributed to you more. I wish I understood when you cried. And I'm not quite sure what that means, but it makes me cry. She feels so strongly about that. That, Lisa, I think that she feels your heart much deeper than you realize. And she did when you were together. And she looks very much like you.
Oh, yeah.
I see sparkles around her. I think that she's an elevated soul on the other side. And how I tell that, there are different levels on the other side that people, when they cross over, they don't all go to the same place. And there's different levels. And I learned that through Edgar Casey. And he helped me understand the different levels. Like some mother and fathers are at some levels, and then this brother or the sister may be at another, but they come together when you need them, like in a family unit. So she is, when I say she's elevated, what I think she is, I think that she is trying to let you know that she's there and she has the ability to help you. And to continue to talk to her, because she will help you and maybe direct you in the way you need to go. And she's very loving, very loving. Now, if the rest of you are connecting, please interrupt me, because she's being very, very considerate of Lisa, wanting to know what she wants. If she has a question for her that she can answer to ask. So I'll kind of step back when you guys do.
Okay. Kate, if you want to say anything, that's fine.
Well, the only thing that I was picking up on was that she's going to help in ways that Lisa's going to recognize, but she's going to have to look for them. So between sisters, there's code, there's phrases, there's songs, there's shared experiences that only the two of them had, that only the two of them will recognize when it pops in again. So, if it was giggling over an actor or a movie or a song phrase or a special book, there's just, I'm trying to pull up all the different ways that it could possibly be, that to understand that is Ashley, that is Ashley communicating with you, that she is saying, remember this, remember how we laughed before? Well, remember how we made fun of that, and I'm still here, and I want to laugh with you, and I want you to know and feel me and know me, that I am right here. I am right here, not going anywhere. And what she brings with her is that energy from the other side, that is that loving, euphoric, warm feeling of being from somewhere else. It's not earthly energy, and so you want to tap into, oh wow, what was that? And when you do, then you'll know that it was Ashley. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense.
Willow, did you have something else you wanted to say?
Yes. I usually don't filter, but I feel, since we're talking to the whole world here,
right?
One of the things Lisa Ashley says, not as a warning, but as a piece of advice, that you've got to stop giving away your power. You have to stop being so, she uses the word compliant. You don't have to agree with everybody anymore. You have a voice and use it.
Mhm.
I got another message when Kate and her lovely voice was talking, and it said to me that Lisa has some problems right now with trying to prove herself over and over and over and over again to family members.
Oh,
And Ashley is saying that's no longer necessary.
okay. She's
You're when
gone.
you're
She
ready
had
to
to go. She got pulled out. Her nephews were distracting her, so she left. But this is good for her to come back to and listen to, I think, when she's not as
Well,
distracted. Yeah.
I think that's what Ashley was saying.
Yeah.
That everybody else's wishes come before any of her own.
And that's what I felt when you said it, because I saw that she had left, and so I thought, oh wow, that's prophetic right there. It was happening the moment that you said it. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't know why Ashley comes through so strongly about that, but she did. She can. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Kate. If I
No,
did.
it's okay. I could
No,
see
so fine.
something was there. Yeah, yeah.
It's okay.
So we are being called today, it looks like, to not do dreams, but to do mediumship stuff. And that's okay. And that is okay. Because that's how my channel operates. But just for those of you, I have questions already people have asked, and so I'm going to go with that. But before I do, Willow, I want you to just give us a little bit about what made you start what you did, what you're doing, and how you got involved with that. And
I'd love to.
I think everybody's, it's clear you do what you do and you're wonderful at it, but where did the interest start? And actually I started with Casey as well. So.
Well, I was about 7 when I become observant about my thoughts, and what I was thinking. And I learned that not everybody thought the way I did. And so that was kind of an opening door for me. But for, I'd say 75 years, I have been cognizant of the fact that I have developed my skills over time, and they've come in waves. And so how I began was very, I'd blurt out to everybody in church, she's going to die next week, Mom. And my mother was white, And I had to go back and kind of recall my blessed mother was an Irish lady. I'm Irish and Native American. My father was a Native American. So I am a superstitious Irish Native American warrior. So put it all together. But I did, over time, I'm a scholar, and I read and read and read. I mean, I go through books like they're underwear, every day. And so I really educated myself about my gifts. And when I would learn about something that I was doing, like seeing, I would search till I found somebody else that was writing about it or talking about it. But during my younger time, the only advocate that we really had was Edgar Casey. And I studied at Virginia Beach when he opened, and I studied with him before he crossed over. And I see him on the other side, and he will interrupt me when I'm in the most odd positions at any time. He just comes to 4 in the morning or whatever. But I am an advocate with people when they say, Willow, how can I become psychic? Well, you are psychic. But what I say is educate yourself so you can take your gift and expand it. And that's what I did. I learned about healing. I learned about, through many different people out there, like Cindy Dale and Cynthia Larson, and people that Pamela Atwater, for example, and Dolores Cannon, and
Right. She's
Edgar
wonderful. She
Casey.
was.
So I've educated myself, and I learned what I was seeing. I learned how to open up and accept more. And so when I said I grew by waves, it's because I was a teacher at heart. My mother was a teacher. And so I become a psychologist. And so through my work, I wasn't allowed to practice being a psychic. So I always felt dishonest about being a psychologist because I knew better than what they were telling us, and so I wanted to jump in and say, no. But so when I retired from that, and I was free to practice the way that I was learning, the light was showing me, I was elated. But I found out you can't go to work and say I'm a psychic in some jobs.
No, you can't. At least you couldn't in the past. Yeah.
The prejudice is it still is there, to tell you the truth. It still is there. And I see men, I think they think we can see their underwear and everything because they get really nervous about the psychics, And I am an Amlio, so I might say, gee, you're going commando today, huh? And they just go right. So,
that's great.
Oh my God.
That's great.
There's an evil streak in this old lady, So
it's all right.
I'll get to do things like that. But I really, truly want to start open conversations on Willow's Place where we can talk about what we're seeing and what we're hearing without people thinking we're nuts.
Right. And you know what, that is such a beautiful part of this community.
Yeah. I'm just ecstatic over you guys. Ecstatic. Because I was on Blog Talk Radio for years.
Yeah.
And it was a one-man band on Blog Talk Radio. You really had to. There was none of this interaction like we can have here.
Right.
I was so impressed by the caliber of the psychics on YouTube that it took my breath away.
Right.
Like,
there's some wonderful. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And, I can't name them all. They're all just.
I know.
I was drawn to your group because Aley, you and I have had a relationship on the other side.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. And so I said, oh, there
she is.
There she is.
And I'm so excited about it. But, and there's a couple others. I forget Heather's name, Indigo something. Indigo
Yes,
Jaguar.
Indigo Jaguar.
I felt a tremendous connection with Heather.
Okay.
And Sheila, another one that I think is absolutely gorgeous.
You're talking about Celtic Tarot?
Yes. Just gorgeous.
Yeah.
But the community in itself is so cohesive. And I didn't expect that. I really didn't expect it. I love tarot. I don't do tarot, but I love tarot, and I must have 25,000 decks of cards.
Oh, you're not alone.
Because I love the artwork.
I know. It's beautiful.
And I'll get them out every once in a while in the oracle cards and stuff.
Right.
But I do use the pendulum. That's the only tool that I use physically, and the rest is all mental. But how I developed by trial and error.
That's the what really I would say the same way.
To me. I had a near-death experience when I was 16, and it really gave me I received information in waves, like I said after that, and at first I didn't know how to handle it because it becomes overwhelming, I'd say, leave me alone, shut it down, just no, 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 no more.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that I took away from my near-death experience was, I've had 2 of them in my lifetime, was that you're just a speck in an ocean of absolutely phenomenal energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That you can travel anywhere you want to go in your mind if you want to do it,
Mm-hmm.
And
Kate
so,
does that all the time.
yeah. And
It's too much fun.
I astral travel all the time. And I'm a Native American, and I shapeshift in my dreams.
Beautiful.
And so I travel as an owl. And people have said, Willow, was that you sitting on my fence? It's wintertime. You shouldn't be here. No, that one wasn't me. That was a cousin of mine.
My gosh.
That's great.
I do understand when people say, you totally confuse me because you don't talk like other psychics do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm old, that's why.
Everybody's different. Everybody does things differently.
Yeah, and I look at the young ones like that sweet Kevin. Oh my God, isn't he?
I know he is a young
It
one.
just makes your heart sing.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's one that has so many different entities around him. I don't think he realizes the number.
Yeah, there are 2 Kevins. So there's Kevin,
the healing medium.
The healing Kevin. Yeah.
Oh, he is so cute. Good Lord.
He is. He's a cutie.
There's something about him that I just want to take home and adopt.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, put it in your pocket.
Like Betty White and her pool boys. I would gather the psychic. Like, okay, I'm talking way too much.
No, it's okay. We wanted to know a little bit about your background, and
right.
and so yes, that's fabulous. When I found this place, it was through a tarot, and then it expanded. Not with me doing it. I mean, I had a tarot reading, and it has grown so exponentially since then. That was November 2020, and the community that really comes into this particular subscriber show is between 45 or 50 and about 80 or 90 years old. That's what and it's mostly women, but I have some great men in here as well. Mm-hmm. But we're all the crones mostly, and we all understand each other, and we all, share all our wisdom, and the kindness is so fabulous. So I'm glad you're part of that.
I love the community as a whole. And by the way, I used to teach when I was in psychology dream analysis.
Oh,
so I have great plans to come and join you again, and
please
do a show on dream analysis. I would love to be a participant.
Absolutely.
One of the things that I do now is I work for 2 different police departments, and one group in general reviews old unsolved mysteries,
cold cases,
cold cases. And so I've been involved with that too. I won't work for the police department anymore though, because the first thing I get is children that have been kidnapped, and I can't deal with the violence.
Go in that energy. Yeah, that energy is very hard. Yes.
But I have had experience with dream analysis, and I have all different kinds of programs that we could initiate, and I'll introduce you to them.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah,
it is. We used to have a whole group of women that got, like you, I had mostly women, and we'd bring in a dream a week, and we'd all make a story out of their dreams.
Yep.
And create a storybook. Each of us created a storybook out of a certain dream. And you'd be amazed at the different things that you can get. I think a woman wrote a book about the same experience but I've been doing it for 20 years, so I know that she did it after me.
Right.
And we've been doing this in psychology. I had a group where we had group behavioral therapy. It was part of
Uh-huh.
behavior.
Mhm.
Carl Jung, and Freud were very, very hot on
Yes.
dream analysis, and
Yes.
so they
Yeah.
both they fought.
We
with
both
each
we both have been reading. Well, I read his book a couple of months ago. Of course, I've read him before, but I reread Dreams and Symbols and so on. And we were
Yeah.
planning on coming on to talk about Jung at some point when we had all
that
finished
would
the
be
book.
great.
So
too.
yeah, you're welcome to come anytime. Anytime
Oh,
you're,
bless
you know,
you.
we love
Yeah.
and we really love to have collabs like that because
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
more input we get, the better it is. It really
You know,
is.
dream analysis is a great way to help expand your psychic knowledge.
Yes.
I
Absolutely.
agree.
So
Because
I'm a part of the Young Lucid Dreaming platform, so that they
good.
have, and the information that comes through there, of course, is really exciting. I'm participating with their project about lucid dreaming right now, where they're,
Oh,
we
okay.
send them in the lucid dreaming, and
I-
they're compiling the
I
information.
loved it when I could get that part of my dream analysis together, where I could enter into the dream in a lucid fashion
Oh, it's
and
wonderful.
change it. It is.
Yeah.
It's life changing.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
Really
And
is.
if I could,
Marvelous.
Aley, could I just interject one quick thing about the dream symbol for
Absolutely.
okay, so there's a lot of conversation about ascension downloads. Okay.
Mhm,
That
mhm.
we're entering into this period where it's going to be really important for us to stay in a high vibration and receive the information that we need to understand going forward for what's coming. Okay. So I had this thought about asking my guides, angels, to let me know what's the symbol? What's the symbol that I need to look for? And is that symbol going to present itself in my dream state? Can I interact with the lucid dreaming down? I'm hoping I'll get one, but I just
Mhm.
I'll
wanted
tell you
to.
what it is.
Oh, okay. Well, let me
It's
just
the
finish real quick.
infinity symbol, an
Okay.
8 on its side, like this.
Yep. Like over the magician's head. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Go ahead,
When you
Kate.
do
Tell the rest of the story.
So I went to bed thinking, okay, I'm going to present this question to my guides and angels. And so in the dream, there's a knock at the door. And so I go to open the door, and the gentleman that's standing is the DoorDash guy with a brown bag. And I'm like, my symbol is food. my symbol is a brown bag. And then I thought, oh, I must just be hungry.
No, food for thought. Food for thought.
That is beautiful, though.
It
That
is.
is beautiful.
Food for
That was
thought.
what you would do.
So here's my suggestion. Here's what I'd love to have. If people can leave comments under the show about what they would associate for their symbol. I mean, the affinity symbol is beautiful, and I think that probably is the one that
I think it's a
everybody's
universal one, because my guy Joseph, very first thing he said to me about that was, "This is what you've got to look for." Because I asked him about the same
specifically.
kind of way. I said, my Joseph is also a wanderer. He goes to other people, and they'll pick. Oh, I had a client say, "I talked to your Joseph last night, and he was really mad at me." And I said, "Oh my God, what is this all about?" But Joseph is a wanderer, and he comes and goes. But he said to me, carefully, because of the downloads that we're going to have, and a book I'd like to recommend, if you don't mind, is P.M. Atwater's book, Future Memory.
Oh,
That
I
is
didn't know you wrote
something
another one. Okay.
we should be really, really cognizant about, Kate, because with you especially, well, you're looking for signs. Don't worry about signs. Like Joseph says, you're going to know that it's specifically for you
Uh-huh.
when you're downloaded information.
Okay.
Not everybody's going to get the same download.
Right. Right. I understand.
Oh, here we go. Craig says he has the shooting star. Andrea has a bridge. Warrior Girl has a rose. Okay.
Yeah.
Very
a lot
nice.
of people use the rose technique, for protection.
Yeah.
They'll around their aura, they'll imagine they build a boundary with the rose at the end of
Yes.
and create.
Wow.
And but the infinity symbol, what Joseph said, is universal.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you
So
for that.
you may
Like,
get.
sometimes my mind goes into places where I'm like,
I do. Good God, I've been in trouble.
who said that? Who did that? Yeah.
Dolores
Yeah.
Cannon used to just drive me wild with. I would say she can't be right here. She can't be right here. I know. She did a piece with I forgot his name, the one that was a seer, and I can't even think it. Nostradamus.
Uh-huh.
And
Yes, she has a couple of books on
I
that.
had been across Nostradamus before, and I thought she just can't be right here, And so for about 4 years, I just refused to read any of her stuff. I thought, no, it's not hitting me right. Then I went back later, and after some downloads that I had, everything she said made perfect sense.
Yeah.
At the right time.
So
I'll never forget. I went to Arkansas when in the 90s, and I went to Mount Ida, where she's was from Arkansas, and there was a book there, and I just felt really drawn to it, and I had to buy it, and I read it all the way back from Arkansas to Texas, where I lived, and it was Jesus and these scenes, and
Yes.
and that book blew my mind. And then when I had my Akashic records done, like last year, he said I was in a scene. And so I thought, well, no wonder I wouldn't have even known what that was.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what? These scenes are absolutely fascinating. I do Akashic record readings, and so
you do too. Okay, good to know.
So
okay.
I know about that feeling about Jesus, because I was raised a Catholic.
Okay.
And, I'm like the old Irish mother, don't mess with my family, don't mess with my God. And so when they'd say, well, Jesus had a family, and I thought, you crazy, I'm not going to listen to that. And I don't know, Aley, if you know what I mean, how we are about Jesus and the Virgin Mother. Even though I knew I was, people say, you're a demon, you couldn't be a Christian. I thought to myself, you don't even know what a Christian is.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And so I was defensive about Jesus, He doesn't need my defense. He doesn't need me to be defensive about it. And when I had a near-death experience, he told me that you don't have to defend me anymore. I am. And he thought that, and he chuckled, and he was holding me in his arms, and he chuckled. He says, "You don't have to be the warrior anymore about me." He says, "They understand."
Well,
that's hard. It was hard for me at times when I was growing up, being Christian and being psychic.
I woke up one morning thinking, what would that have been like for Mary to raise God?
Oh my God.
Okay, so so all of a sudden I'm like, who said that? Where'd that come from? And what I came to believe without reading anything is that the missing years, and they call them the missing years, which are the years from when he was born until he was about 30. Okay. 33. Okay. When he was, in my humble opinion, developing all the skills and tools that we call psychic. Right, his gifts. Okay, so if you can imagine him sitting down next to a little guy who's not feeling very good, and they're just sharing lunch and they're just having a chat, and within his own aura, the child is healed. Well, of course the child is healed. He's sitting in Jesus's light. Of course.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely amazing. Right, it would have been and the thing that I cling to is when he said, you will do all of these things, and that maybe the reason they were kept secret was because organized religions, politics, all of the things that are
they were worried,
couldn't handle the fact that, oh my gosh, we can't let
we
that
have
out.
Free will.
That's not right. And that's what I still to this day become irate with some of the evangelicals.
Well,
Oh yeah.
But they
You're
consider
not alone.
I
what
believe
really,
that
really, really gets me hot is when they say you got to suffer for Christ.
okay,
That is a cross.
but that's a power play. That's
Mhm.
that's
That's
just them
exactly what
pushing
it
their
is.
finger on people. And
Yeah.
I honestly believe that the religions of the world blend beautifully with psychic
My
gifts.
God is your God.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
how I feel.
And that this is a loving experience, that all of the things that were put into the text and into the procedures and policies and the way things were done were meant to control. They were not meant to enhance, right?
Fear. It's all fear.
Warrior Girl made a very, very explicit in comment that I totally agree with Warrior Girl. She mentioned, do you mind if I read there it is? The Christ consciousness has come back.
I don't think
And
it ever left.
It is what we are absorbing right now. The
That's right.
love of one another and the
Right.
connectedness. He said we were all connected,
Always.
and it is.
Yes. And the voice is there and the acceptance is there. And
so it's not a physical Christ that's here. It's the Christ consciousness.
Consciousness.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And all of those,
that's an important
but all of the things that we're talking about as far as developing gifts and whatnot, when you look at even just the historical path that Jesus was on, they're in all of them.
Yes.
They're in all of them. So it just makes perfect sense. Why would anyone think that there was anything wrong with that? For me, my belief is that we are meant to have love. We are meant to come from love. We are love. We're meant to return to love. And that love is the power of spirit. And that anything that interferes with it or tries to pull it down isn't going to succeed. Because
I learned that with my clients. They would come to me for a question. They said, well, don't tell my mother I asked you, or don't tell it, my family. I said, everything is personal between you and me. And then they said, does God hear us? I said, of course.
Of course.
And so they were so afraid to admit that they believed in something other than the doctrine that was being put out there, by their religion.
Right.
And that's not what the message of Jesus Christ is all about.
Yeah. Right. That's true. It's very true.
It's for
However
everybody.
We get there, right?
All are his children. And I am really more Buddhist than I am Catholic now. Because
that's what I am, Will. Oh, I'm a Buddhist. Yeah.
I studied all the religions in the world, and
Me too.
I gravitate toward Buddhism.
Me too.
But I love Jesus, so I think that's how we're supposed to be.
Yes,
absolutely.
It all goes together. It's just
somebody told me that they studied all the major religions, and when they had a near-death experience, Confucius was meeting them, and so was Buddha, and so was all these people. And he said everybody that I studied came in and said, "Well, hello there."
Do you belong in our group or not?
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
That's a wonderful thing, though.
It is a wonderful
thing. And I tell people every day, your God's my God.
Yeah.
I may not. It's all there is to it. There's no need for us to fight wars.
No separation. There's no separation.
Yeah, there's no separation. We just think differently and we act differently. And, my mother used to feed the little people in the barn, And
good for her. Yeah.
She'd leave cake and milk. My father would get so crazy, because Native Americans do not feel real kindly toward little people. The fairies or we call them the brownies because they were tricksters. They considered them tricksters. My mother considered them their best friend. She'd feed them.
That was what she grew up with.
What way she grew up. So it's the same with believing in elemental energy, elemental spirits. Right. Elemental energy. That's what you have when you use your tarot cards.
That's right.
That's who is giving you the information. They
It's a
have
tool. It's a
air,
tool.
wind, fire, all of the
Mhm.
elementals have a part in your, like, especially with dowsing.
Mhm.
They are the intermediary between you and the higher spirits. And the
Mhm.
elementals are here on earth that help us in ways we have no clue. No clue
Sure.
that it's the
Right.
elemental spirits that are involved. I was watching a tarot reader the other night because I go around and lurk. I love watching them. And I could see little dancing beings fluttering around her cards.
Wow. Cool.
And they didn't look like a bee or anything. I just could see glimmers of wings all around. So I knew she was involved in the spirit, the elemental spirit. Not
Sure.
everybody has connections with the elementals. I have all my life because I think everything has a spirit, even the rocks in the ground.
Yes. Yes.
My father could lift stone out of the earth. He was a stone dowser and water. And he would take 2 willow sticks and that's how I got my name. He would go out and he'd look, my mother had put in a garden, and he'd go out and get the best place for it. He'd pull up all the rocks and then he'd remove them. He says, now it's fixed. But he could pull them up out of the earth. And he was not, if you told him he was a psychic, he'd have been very upset with you because that was part of their religious.
Yeah. It's a label that people fear.
Same like shamans. Native Americans were medicine people. They were not shamans and things. So you didn't use the word shaman around my dad. He thought you were crazy.
Sure.
But
so I just want to get to a couple of things. We have a couple of questions here, and Hypnicity says she has a portal in the corner of her bedroom that lights up at night. Lately, a beam of light must be my symbol. I think that's beautiful.
No,
and
it's Archangel Michael.
Yeah, and she says she's also drawn to Madame Blavatsky because she supported our beliefs, and I agree with that too. I love that. What I want you all both to know is that everybody's really enjoying our conversation today, and we are also excited that we're kind of moving from one thing to another, which is fine. No, it's all right. It's all right. It's just that when you're full of information, then you want to share that information. It all comes out, and there's no stopping it. But once we get that out and the initial one out, then we can come back another time and do whatever it is that we need to. But I'm just thrilled with the way this is going. So I do want to say that this person asked in the very beginning if they could get a message from their guides. So I'll put that up. And I have 2 more people that wanted to see if they could get a message, but I'm very much enjoying the conversation, and I do not really want to stop whatever it is. We'd have to be here 12 hours, though, I think.
I've done that before, haven't you, Aley?
Yes.
During your Egyptian,
I had to always find the book.
You had an Egyptian lifetime with me.
Oh, wow. I love it.
Do you like oils of any, natural oils? Well, we were in charge of a very, very high class family oils, and we handled vats and vats of precious oil that they had. And so we were little servants, but we had a good time.
That's wonderful. Oh, wow. That's wonderful.
I want to ask the lady that WT, does she know any of her guides? Has she ever?
And I'm not sure that she is even still here, because this was back at 11:03. So if you are here, WT, let us know if you are here. Just so if you're not here, then we can still do a quick reading. But hi, Samantha. It's good. And Gypsy JJ, I'm so glad you're here too. Thanks, everyone. Stacy Richardson is learning so much today.
I hope you didn't bore her.
I don't think so. No.
I'm glad.
So I don't know, WT, who does past life readings? Well, hypnicity, I think Willow probably can do that too. I'm guessing. That's
Yes,
what you just pretty
again.
much did. Yeah. Yep. So, by the way, I don't have it up, but Willow has a new, well, she had a channel called Late Night Conversations with Willow,
Still
but
do.
she's
That's for my
changed
other business
for
that I
your
hope
other
you can.
thing. But you're going to
Hope you
have
guys will
Willow's
come and see
place.
me in both places, because
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
news for you guys that run your businesses here on YouTube. Oh, they're
Really?
going to have happy news for you. I'm involved
Oh,
with an adventure with a new company that's
oh,
phenomenal. And that emails,
fabulous. Okay.
you can join now. Well, in a couple of weeks, you'll be able to sign up for their emails free. They have the most fantastic email service you've ever seen on the planet. So you're going to want to do it.
Wow.
You're going to want to
Okay.
sign up, because you can send out as many as you want. You can create as many email names as you want. It's fantastic, and it's free. So you let me know
Oh,
whenever
thanks,
you're ready.
Warrior Girl. So Warrior
But
Girl, yeah,
that
already signed up and put your Willow's place up for you, so
oh,
people can go
great.
over
Thank you. Oh, I'm trying to fix that. I need help with YouTube.
there.
I'm smart in lots of ways, but oh my God. I could take a serious drinking after I mess around with
I
YouTube
get it.
all day.
I get
I
it.
don't know how you guys work with StreamYard. It's difficult to figure out.
Well, I'm an online humanities professor, and so I have to do all this kind of stuff, and that's
I
why
do
I can
too.
run
I
the.
use
Yeah,
Zoom all the time.
yeah, I do too. All
Well,
right.
you're
Oh,
gonna
thanks.
not kind of, because you're going to be using our product pretty soon. 10
Okay.
times better in Zoom.
So I don't think WT is here. So if you are WT, let us know. I'm going to move on to Craig's question. Craig is our resident,
Oh, I
lovely,
know.
lovely person. Isn't he lovely? Oh
I
my
have
goodness.
seen his brother.
Oh, really?
When he was in a chat, Craig was in a chat with you, I think a week ago, and
Okay.
I have seen him coming through. So
Really?
I know who he's talking about.
Okay. Okay. So any message from him for Craig? He wonders.
Well, I don't know, Craig, if it's a message or not. He's saying,
Okay.
he's telling me, like he's addressing me, that Craig knows how I am, that I'm a jokester. I like to tell jokes. And he
Okay.
said, I'm here, but I'm there. And he said, with you most of the time, because I can't stay out of your business. So he's really, really
Okay.
humorous to me. He was humorous that day that I was picking up on him. People, spirits have a way of following your light. And if they're gathered around a person, like they gather around Craig, like he's got more than one family that follows him.
Yes.
But anybody that's interconnecting with the human on this side, they spot their light. I've had people that I didn't know. They'll say, I want to talk to my brother. And I'm like, who are you? And they'll tap, 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 until I address them. And so he was
pushy.
He thought it was perfectly okay to say, hey, here I am, Craig. I'm right here, Craig. I've been with you. And he's lovely. He's lovely.
Then you must also see Clara Bow, because Clara Bow is his spirit, is one of his guides, and is around him all the time.
He is going on to become a teacher at another level. Did Craig know that?
Ty is? Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, cool.
He's going to become a teacher. And I think it has to do with a few of his guides that they're going to. Some of them are going to incarnate as teachers in this era, But he's not. He's going to become a teacher of a teacher, like a master.
Teacher of a teacher. Okay.
So he's
Craig's surprise. Craig's really surprised.
Yeah, he's much more elevated, Craig, than you think. He's a much more elevated soul.
Okay.
And
Well,
he has more than one guide. He has a whole committee like Aley does and Kate and myself. But he has, could I ask you, Craig, did he have an affinity for helping younger males like in their teens?
Oh, like a foster, what is it, Big Brother?
Yeah, like Big Brother Association, or where he was educating younger 15, 16-year-olds how to live their lives.
Sometimes, he said, yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Well, that is what he's kind of gravitating into on the other side. He said that he doesn't think that he'll ever incarnate again because
I don't
he
blame
can
him.
do more.
Messy.
He can do much better over there. You know, I think people have a misinformation here about that we have to incarnate. We do not.
Okay.
Right.
You can take and do.
Remind me, Willow, when I get there, if you're there before me, that I don't want to come back. I don't want to come back.
Me and you too, girl. I do want to come back. I can't hardly wait.
Do you? Oh, no.
Yeah,
I don't want to go to junior high. I don't want to go to junior high.
Yeah, I love being incarnated. I love
Do you?
incarnation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aley, if you could only know how many lives you've touched and how many hearts have been lifted, you might not say that. I wish there was a way for a tally count or for a billboard to be out there for you to realize how much you're loved and how much love you have shared with so many. So for right now, it's okay for you to say that if you want to. But we will miss you if you're not here.
You know that I'll be in that state of forgetfulness.
That too.
Aley, you don't know how much you're needed.
Yeah.
I found that out about myself about 10 years ago. And I was at a very dark place because my daughter had technically committed suicide by starving herself to death. She had anorexia.
Oh.
And I was trying to deal with a God, I thought, that allowed this. And so I went through a very dark period. And I said, I'll never come back to this earth again, you know. And I don't think I should have said that because they continued to show me who I affected and why I was here and what this was for and what this school was about, you know. Craig, Ty's already hugging you.
Yep. Ty's there. So Valerie wonders if we have a message from her guides. Yes, Valerie, you're on the screen. If you'd like to come on at some point another time with your face and your voice, you're welcome to do that too. Everybody here is always welcome to be a guest.
She's another one that has groups.
Oh, okay.
In fact, I think, is she a reader or a psychic?
I don't know. I'm not sure. There's no channel that I know she. There's two Valeries. This one's Valerie S. And then we have Valerie Bradshaw, who's the Illumination Portal.
I see her. I think she's an intuitive in the dark.
Oh, okay. Time to wake up, Valerie. Oh, thank you, dear. It's so sweet.
New things are coming for her.
Okay.
And so she has a guide that I see very clearly, but there's like a little committee behind her too, like all of ours. But she hasn't identified with all of them yet. But I think that she's an intuitive, I don't know.
She says she's in tune but not practicing.
I think that she has some, like my son, comptometry, where she touches things and she knows.
Oh, psychometry, yeah.
So she's going to develop much more in the next 5 years.
Really?
And she has a guide that is going to help her. And I think that there is, and I do think that her name is Elena, her guide. She wants her to write a book because she's been through some sad, sad things that other people could profit from by knowing how she overcome what she's had to overcome. So I think that she is very, very intuitive, very intuitive. And if you want to know more about, you do not have to be afraid, Valerie. I'll help you.
Oh, that's awesome. Look
Don't
at
be
that.
afraid of it. I know that some people, when they see bright lights in their bedrooms, I see Archangel Michael has been with me for 70 years. And what he does, he's so big, he comes in, he illuminates the whole room. And, you know, he's very, oh, Valerie, I'm glad I touched on that, honey girl, because you need to do this. This is what they're telling you, that you need to write about your trials and tribulations. And you need to understand when you touch people and you connect with their physical energy, you're absorbing them into your heart.
Wow, Valerie.
And when we, I love my clients. Oh my God, I love my clients. I've learned so much from them because when I absorbed their heartache, and as an empath, when I first was going through that, I didn't know how to give it back to them. You know, I retained it. And it was many years that I learned to disassociate myself from other people's heartaches. And Valerie, you're that's what you're going through, honey girl. You're going through that period where you don't know what's yours and what's somebody else's. And I went through that, and it was a long time. I'm a hardhead. They had to rap on my skull a lot. That's not yours. Lay it down. And how I had a revelation one day. I went to Walmart, and I almost had what you would call a panic attack, because I could see spirit wandering back and forth out the back of the building and I couldn't tell the difference between who was here and who was on the other side. And I got all of these voices hitting me at once. So when I finally fumbled my way outside, I said, I'll never go shopping in Walmart again. You know, it was so devastating to me.
Were they Walmartians?
I love it. But I tell you what, that's when I started knowing that
you had to protect yourself.
That was a lesson that they gave me from the other side to create barriers to other people's energy, because you don't know while you're in line at the grocery store, you're absorbing the person's energy from
definitely
behind you and around you, and we're all intermingled that way. And if
we need a mask for our bodies.
Yes, that would be like I go in like this, shielding.
There are tools that you can learn how to do so that you are protecting your own energy from intermingling. There are all kinds of steps that you can take into practice.
I tell you a fast one. That's good. You just build an egg around you. And nothing can get in, but everything can get out.
Right.
And so I don't go out without my shield anymore. Because there are people out there that don't have your best interest at heart.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely.
White light
yes,
bubble.
Andrea, it is a white light bubble of protection.
Yep. And Jansfree, that is it. That is true. You do feel drained because you're too open and you're getting all the bombardment from all the other energy.
Valerie, that's what Valerie's done.
Mhm.
She has
Okay.
absorbed energy from
Mhm.
those that she interacts with. And that's
Yeah.
why she is kind of shying away from becoming or developing her full potential because of
Right.
the fear she's getting from other people.
Yeah, it's
It's not her
exhausting.
fear.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Running your own energy is really important. Calling it back to you. Don't leave it around. Call your own energy back.
Mhm.
And request that any energy that does not belong to you be released back into the universe.
That's
So
perfect, Kate.
command it to leave. Command
Mhm.
it to
I
become
used to do
away from
spirit
you.
retrieval.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I went through a
Mhm.
period of time where I did some spirit retrieval for people.
Mhm.
And you'd be surprised the pieces of us that we leave across the world
Oh yeah.
and our travels, like the trauma
Mhm.
that hits us, and
Right.
we never resolve it. You don't
Yeah.
resolve it in your heart. You
Actually,
have
our friend Andrea Galvin works with that. She does some soul retrieval work with her clients that she has.
very, very interesting. I
Mhm.
was doing that first, and then I got into regression therapy for almost 5 years.
Uh-huh.
And the regression therapy absolutely absorbed me so much. It took over my life, literally,
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
And so that's why I told you, Aley, I'm more interested in future memory now because
Sure.
people don't realize that we can make that leap from here to the
Okay.
future.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to instruct people how they do that jump from reality of now and
Mhm.
see themselves 10 years into the future. And
Sure.
it can happen easily.
Mhm.
Cynthia Sue Larson is an author that really writes a lot about, she calls it um, jump starting or jump something like that. Anyway, she jumps into
Okay.
the future easily. And so
Okay.
does Pamela Atwater, who wrote
Right.
Future Memory. So
Okay.
there are many books out there. And I
Uh-huh.
think that without worrying about past lives so much, we've already done that. We don't have to relive every lifetime we live, but we have to be cognizant about what's coming in the near future
That's
because
right.
it is absolutely monumental.
Uh-huh.
Very
Well, we
nice.
just have a lot of people just coming in, and I'm hoping that's okay, Kate, for you and for Willow. Usually we only go about an hour, but we've just gotten a big jump here, and I think people
I'd
are
love to
gravitating.
say I
Okay,
cleared my whole day for you, so don't
you
worry.
cleared the whole. I don't think we'll do that, but we can do a little,
A
a
little
little while.
longer.
Yeah. So Betsy
I,
Palmer is over in Maui, and she says I hope it's okay to say I found purple jade helpful to maintain
I
psychic
love
guidance.
stones.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love anything purple.
Oh yeah.
Anything purple. I
Uh-huh.
would wear a
Yeah.
purple sackcloth if I could. I got
Yeah.
purple everywhere. And I also use spheres to do readings, and I have a black obsidian. I don't know if you can see it
Yes. Yes.
there. I
Yep.
have that I used for um, looking into the future.
Okay.
And it's a rainbow obsidian, and like the purple jade, it has a way of absorbing um, energy that is unhealthy for you.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
I always keep it right by my computer
Wow.
because that and rose quartz.
Uh-huh.
Um, uh,
I
like
like
a
lavenderite.
rainbow obsidian to me, though, uh, um, was the first stone that was given to me by a psychic, a woman called No Eyes. She was
Mm-hmm.
a psychic from the Native American culture. She lived
Mm-hmm.
in a cave, and she gave me my first black obsidian and told me that because I was so open, I was like an open, like Valerie is. Would you believe that my given name, my name on my birth certificate is Valerie? I spotted her. I knew.
That's fabulous. Look at that. And there's 2 other Valeries here. Wow.
Mhm.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
But anyway, I love
so-
stones. We need to do a show. We'll get together.
Definitely. We
and
got a
we'll
lot
do
of
a
things we
show
can
on
talk
stones.
about.
We'll be working for 10 years now. Wait.
I know it. I know. It's wonderful.
So can I jump in on this question? Do you mind, Aley?
No, not at all.
Okay, so I belong to a practice group, and recently we decided that we would ask our angels to talk to the sitters' angels and guides and allow them to tell us just the same process as mediumship, whatever that process is for you, to allow the other person to introduce themselves and then share with you what they found. And that was, again, when we were talking earlier about seeing, this angel that was not worldly, but incredibly beautiful. And they actually, at that point, she said, I asked, okay, I saw a man, a tall man. He said, I have to tell you who I am. Don't you know who I am? I'm Duke. I'm Duke. Okay.
Oh.
So as we were sharing these experiences together, the next day, the person called and said, I just kind of zoned out when you started talking. Can you please tell me what you saw? And I said, well, there's a Duke. And she started, saying, oh my gosh, because when she was a child, she always associated with John Wayne as her protector. He was her protector. Okay.
Yeah, marvelous.
So how the information comes in is incredible when it becomes validated. And it really is just a matter of asking. All of this information is just really a matter of having the
and trusting what it is you feel. That's the other thing.
And knowing. And so
Aley, that's the major.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Even I went through that period. I didn't trust what I was seeing. Remember I told you about it.
I think you're making it up. Yeah, you think you're making it up.
Is this me or is this somebody else?
Yeah.
That learning trust.
Yeah.
Like Linda is such a joyful person that put that question down there. I think the only thing that holds her back might be the fact that she doesn't trust what she sees, hears, smells, or feels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's all different ways that your guide can communicate with you.
Right.
You smell. I have my grandfather comes through with tobacco smell. I have
my dad does.
Yeah. I smelled your father cherry tobacco. Yeah.
There it is.
But there's all different ways, and don't reject any of them.
Any of it.
They're all good. They're all good. Like my mother, when she died, and she was at the funeral was there. Father Harrington was a really dour kind of priest, I don't think he knew what a good joke meant, he just was dour. Well, this little butterfly comes flying in, was on his nose, and then on his head, and then on the casket, and then he would zoom away and it would touch all of us, some part of it. And we were all got the giggles over it. And my sister May says, that's my mother. She's doing that. And anytime my poor son was my mother's pallbearer, and he almost fell in the hole that they were going to put her in, And he stumbled, and one leg went down, the other one up, and this butterfly landed on his nose. And we went bonkers. We thought that was the funniest thing. So my mother was escorted out of this world by all of her daughters giggling their socks off, because it was hilarious. It was a hilarious moment. So anytime that I'm ever overwhelmed with things, this little white butterfly comes in somewhere in some doorway.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know it's my mother,
So
I didn't mean to get carried away there.
That's all right.
Okay. It's okay.
But guides are magnificent masters at what they do.
Right. And they can change, they can swap in and out depending on what you're learning and what you need mastering in.
And they're not, usually the guides are ones that have spent maybe lifetimes with you in other environments.
Yes.
not necessarily earth, but your family members are a different
Yes.
classification, and
Yeah, right.
they connect with you differently
Right.
Mhm.
So
than the guys.
for Linda, I'm getting a chubby woman with an apron on and lots of dough, flour dough, like flour on
Mm,
her. You know, like she's
mm.
baking all day, like she's been baking all day. She says to tell you her name is Bella, and that
Oh,
when you refer to her, just remember the beauty of existence, the beauty. The Bella means
yeah.
beautiful.
Bella means beauty. Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. And
Bella.
that she is giggling around you and always with you and always trying to get your attention by whipping something up. Whether that's the smell of cookies.
That's when you get a hankering for something to eat that she's making. Yeah.
That's Bella. Okay.
Got a weight problem.
No, there's no weight problem on her side. It's all good. But
That's
she
right.
is a sort of rotund how she shows herself, which she says doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter at all. Just, if you're looking on the lookout for, cinnamon cookies or cinnamon rolls or the sweetness, that's Bella saying, "Hey,
Bella.
I'm over here. Howdy, give me a hug." I'm over here. Really cute personality, really good. This is somebody that you would love to come home to the holidays with, and just precious, absolutely precious. So
And
you can
yes, I
always
love that, Linda, that it is hilarious because that's what laughter is so important for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
she will introduce you to the others once
Mhm.
you started seeing where she is with you. So
She
you
is.
can talk to her in your dreams. You can bring her along with you in your day, ask for a sign, ask for something simple.
Mhm.
Maybe you'll see across the word, Bella Pies or something in a commercial or something. And you'll go, "Oh, there she is."
There she is.
Yes, there she
Yeah.
is.
That's
so
funny.
see if
That's
that
Can I
goes
ask a question? Kate, are you seeing the Italian connection with Linda?
I am
Oh.
seeing a Latin connection. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Consuelo.
Yeah.
Consuelo. Yeah.
Consuelo is another one of her guides.
There you
But
go.
she's not Spanish, she's Italian.
Italian. There you go.
Mhm. Yep. Wow. Wowee.
They have some spicy news for you.
Consuelo's real.
I love this.
That's
Remember after 9/11, we were told if you see something, say something. The stuff I would see would get me committed. I love that.
Oh my gosh.
And
Oh,
especially if you work for the government like I did. You didn't.
that's right.
I had to counsel. I worked in the prison system as a correctional counselor, and for the Department of Defense also. So in my career, I had some very varied places that I worked, but in the prison situation, I had to counsel inmates that had terrible experiences with women, with rape and things like that,
Yeah.
And I could see their thoughts. I could pick them up.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And one inmate was smart alecky, and he was making comments in his mind. And I said, "Listen," I said, "I threw away better men than you are." I said, and he says, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, that comment you made." And after that, he was open like a book. He told me everything. And so he was getting ready to be paroled, and he said, "I got to ask you, Miss Griffiths," because from that point forward, he never disrespected me again.
Wow.
He said, "Do I resume my life like I had it before I got in prison?" I said, "I hope to God you don't. You don't go around forcing people." He says, "No, my sister and I've been sleeping with my sister," he says, "since I was 7. I said, "Oh my God."
Wow.
What do I say here? I never saw it,
Yeah.
but I said, "I don't think that would be a good idea if you want to stay on the outside. If you want to stay." But I have had some experiences in the prison situation that would make you roll and laugh on the floor. It was so hilarious,
Sure. Yeah.
But I'm going to write a book about it one day. They made us sign a 25-year contract where we wouldn't reveal anything.
Okay.
Same with the Department of
Of Defense, yeah.
you can't reveal anything until after, but I've outlived them all.
Mhm.
Right when I went. Oh, Italian properties, Linda. See, I told you.
Yep. Hands free.
Willow, that's what she's doing. You will get the money. Don't worry. You put restrictions when you say, because there's no way I have the money to do that. Say,
Right.
I claim that. I want to have a vacation home there. I claim that.
We can do that. We can talk about on another show about changes of energy coming. That would be interesting. We could have 5 or 6 different people come on and
because there
offer
is
what
a
they're
lot
doing.
coming up. It would be really good. Are you doing a show? Are you, Aley?
I am doing a show at the end of the on the 30th about hopes and wishes for 2023 because I did it last year. And so if anybody wants to come on,
would that be different than what he's asking about?
Not really. It's whatever we personally want, but then we could also talk about other changes that are more universal. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
We got one more here, and maybe we can tackle this one. And it's Tammy Jackson. She is an empath. And what she's going through is having anxiety and nausea. Tammy, do you know about the light codes coming in and the ascension energies working through us? Plus, we're having sunstorms. I'm not, sure you're aware of that. But, ladies, anything from you on Tammy?
The solar flares is what you're talking about, mentioning the energy shifting.
Yes. Yeah.
There is a lot of uncomfortable energy right now for people that are used to being grounded. It's very difficult just to ground.
Right.
And so one of the things that I do when I get to that place where I feel really wobbly is I will repeat I am statements through my that will balance my chakras. So I am safe, I am loved, I am creative, I am a good communicator, and just keep reinforcing from the inside out so that the balance doesn't need to really, it'll support, of course, it'll support the grounding, but your grounding can be, you can feel like you're a tetherball or something, that you're kind of like out there flying around. So just come back to who you are inside your heart. And repeat those messages. I am safe. I am loved. I am healthy. I am a good communicator. I am deserving of good things in my life. And repeat the I am statements that will help reinforce from the inside so that the inside remains stable. And I hope that helps with feeling a little nausea.
I got to say something about Tammy. Tammy had she had an experience in a past life where she was stabbed in the stomach.
Oh.
And when she gets over anxious about something, it's like this pain from that wound occurs again. But I'm seeing something about her diet that is aggravating the nervous stomach.
Oh.
So if I were you, I got rid of sugar, flour, everything out of my diet. I had to get rid of it all before I started to heal after cancer. So I would tell you, you don't have cancer. I smell cancer on people. It's not that, Tammy. It is about you having a battle with the food you're eating.
Yeah.
And there's a very good book out there. It's by Dr. Lee, L.I. And it's a new book on the market, and I happened to get it not too very long ago. Oh my God, it opened my eyes to how many different ways you can sabotage your own body, with food. And I would listen. I don't want to take up all of your other people's time here. I would be glad, Tammy, email me at either Willow's Place or Rosalia88 at Gmail. And I'll give you the name of the author and the book because I have similar problems. A lot of mediums do carry past life problems forward. And when you go through trauma like that, and it's the kind of trauma that resides with you forever, it usually is associated with past life. I have this thing of frogs. You won't get me to go if there's a frog out on the sidewalk. There years ago,
That's being fish. That's it. I get it. I get it.
Well, I found out that I drowned in another lifetime in a frog pond.
Okay.
So those little beasties just bother me beyond it. And it's because of past life connections.
Sure.
Tammy is very, very intuitive.
Yes, she is. She is. Mm-hmm.
She's and another thing that I find out about her is she needs comfort.
Okay.
The only word I could use is comfort, because I don't think she knows how valuable she is.
Mm-hmm.
And when people are looking for comfort, it can come from anybody, but they usually look for it from the people that are around them.
Yeah.
And if they don't get that support, then the anxiety in the stomach starts, then the anxiety in the heart. So I think that she needs a good hug. And I'm sending
we all could use that.
That's one to you, Tammy, full blown across all.
Fabulous.
And I'll hold you in my arms and you can cry.
There you go.
So,
it makes me cry. Well, anyway, that's a beautiful message to leave. We really do need to go because we have some other commitments that we have. But what a day, and we'll be back. That's all I can say. We'll be back. Thank you to everybody. Thank you.
Excited I am over this show.
Oh,
it was such fun.
Oh,
I just went on, and it's a wonder you didn't boot me off early.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We're glad to have you, Willow. Thank you
for everybody.
Your energy. You know how you're reading David Hawkins?
Yeah.
What Kate was describing was raising your energy levels up the map of consciousness.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
If anybody wants to know about David Hawkins, we're going to have to I'll do a show on Willow's place, and you come, Aley, and we can discuss him.
Perfect.
Because we all need to understand. Did you know his wife has written a book?
Right.
Understanding the Map of Consciousness. Excellent. Absolutely excellent book.
Wow.
So,
that's great.
With that, I'll say goodbye. I want to say goodbye to Craig. I didn't get to finish with his lovely brother.
Well, that's all right. And I put up your email, so I know he can email you, and and maybe we'll be back. We'll definitely be back. Thanks, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Thanks, Aley.